Imagine that the world around you has been whispering your name, patterns that repeat, dreams that linger, quiet coincidences that feel too precise to be random. Imagine that your heart wakes at night for no reason. Your eyes catch the same number again and again. Your soul is stirred by a sudden longing for meaning. What if these are not accidents, but signals? What if Allah is calling you to awaken? Ibn Arabi, the great master of spiritual unveiling, would say the real is always speaking through the forms of life, and that every moment is an address. He invites us to listen, not with the ears alone, but with the heart's inner seeing. Are you ready to hear what has always been speaking? Allah's signs are not only in the pages of Revelation, but etched into the fabric of your days. As if reality itself is a book opened before you. The Quran reminds us, we will show them our signs on the horizons and within themselves until it becomes clear to them that it is the truth. Quran 41-53. Ibn Arabi calls this theophany tajoli, the real disclosing its presence through the many colors of the world. Some signs arrive as gentle breezes, others as storms that break our habits. Some arrive through love, others through loss. All of them, he teaches, are invitations to know who is calling and who you really are. To walk with Ibn Arabi is to embrace a spiritual clarity that feels like remembering something you have always known. He speaks of the unity of being Wahadat ul-Wujud not as a slogan, but as a way of seeing there is only the one, veiled in countless faces. When life begins to feel strangely precise, as if events line up, as if time pauses, as if a stranger says the very words you needed, that alignment is not an illusion. It is a mercy. Pause, breathe, ask, what is being asked of me right now? Keep a small notebook. When patterns repeat 3 times, write them down. Naming a sign is the first step to entering it with awareness. The prophets teach us that awakening often begins with recognition, and recognition often begins with a sign. Think of Moses in the wilderness, pursuing a spark that became a flame that became a voice. Think of Abraham, who looked to the stars, the moon, and the sun not to worship them, but to be led beyond them. Think of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, retreating to the cave of Hira, where silence prepared him to receive a word that would echo forever. In each story, the outer sign mirrored an inner readiness. Ibn Arabi would say that the sign arises at the exact moment the heart can bear it. When Moses hears the call at the burning bush, he is told to remove his sandals, to stand barefoot on holy ground, to listen. Indeed, I am Allah. There is no God but me, so worship me and establish prayer for my remembrance. Quran 20:12-14. Notice how the sign is both a wonder and a command, both amazement and instruction. Awakening is not a private thrill, it is a realignment of life. Signs become guidance when we respond. Ibn Arabi, in the Meccan Revelations, emphasizes that each divine address carries an adaba manner of responding that turns perception into transformation. But what does this look like now, today, in a life like yours? Ibn Arabi speaks of the breath of the all-merciful Nafas al-Rahman, breathing existence into every instant. This means that your life is being renewed, moment by moment, and signs are the subtle commas and exclamation points in that living sentence. A sudden tenderness toward someone you disliked, an unexpected opening to forgive, a verse, a line, a face that seems to glow with meaning. These are not small. My heart has become capable of every form. Ibn Arabi writes, a pasture for gazelles and a monastery for monks. I follow the religion of love. Whichever way love's camels take, that is my religion and my faith. Tarjuman. Love is a sign that points beyond itself. Another sign is restlessness that won't go away. Not the anxious kind, but the quiet ache that says, there is more to you than this. Ibn Arabi calls it the pull of your most intimate name, the aspect of the divine that is seeking to know itself through you. You may notice that familiar pleasures begin to taste hollow, while simple moments, washing your hands before prayer, the morning light on a wall, a whispered dhikr feel, luminous. The world starts to look like an imaginal garden, an alam al-mithal, the place where forms carry meanings. When that happens, don't run. Be still. Let reality teach you. Dreams, too, are a language of awakening. Joseph's life is the story of a dream interpreting a life, and a life interpreting a dream. Joseph said to his father, "O my father, indeed, I saw in a dream 11 stars, and the sun and the moon. I saw them prostrating to me." Quran 12-4. Ibn Arabi devoted careful attention to the science of dreams, not as fantasies, but as bridges between the visible and the unseen. When a dream repeats, when a symbol returns a river, a doorway, a letter, consider it a sign. Ask Allah for clarity, seek counsel from the wise, and see how waking events begin to echo what you saw by night. Another sign is the way time itself rearranges to support your return. Doors closed that once swung open, doors open that were sealed. A book falls from a shelf. A person you haven't spoken to in years reaches out. You overhear a phrase and it lands like a key turning. Ibn Arabi, in the Fushus al-Hikam, explains that the name al-Hadi, the guide, unfolds in precise moments, and those moments are medicinal. The remedy appears when the illness is recognized. What once felt like chaos begins to feel like choreography. Your task is not to control the dance, but to consent to it. So how do you respond to these signs? Begin with remembrance. Keep the prayer on time. Add a quiet dhikr after fajr and before sleep. Sit in silence for 5 minutes each day, letting your breath soften while repeating a divine name that calls your heart Al-Nur, Al-Latif. Practice adab, speak truthfully, keep your promises, honor your parents, give small charity often. Write your signs. Ask, what is love asking of me here? Ibn Arabi insists that knowledge without service hardens, but knowledge with service becomes light. Choose one act of service this week that only Allah sees. The deepest secret is this: the sign is not separate from the one who sends it, nor are you separate from the one who receives it. Ibn Arabi teaches that the cosmos is a mirror, and the real sees its names through you even as you come to know your Lord through them. A famous prophetic saying, often contemplated by Ibn Arabi, declares, "Who knows himself knows his Lord." The call to awaken is a call to become transparent to the truth, to let your being reflect mercy, justice, beauty, wisdom. And when fear arises, because it will remember that you are being invited, not condemned, guided, not pushed away. By now, perhaps you are recognizing patterns in your own life, the numbers, the dreams, the inner tug, the way certain verses or lines seem to meet you at the exact moment you need them. Perhaps you are ready to move from noticing signs to interpreting them, from interpreting them to embodying them. In the next part, we will explore the most common signs that Allah is calling you to awaken, how to discern the difference between distraction and direction, how to read your life the way Ibn Arabi reads the world, as a letter from the Beloved. Now that you're noticing the pulse beneath your days, let's learn to read it. Ibn Arabi teaches that awakening is not an escape from life, but a new way of seeing life as the reals addressed to you in every instant. When signs repeat, they are knocking, some softly, some like thunder. We'll explore the signs most people encounter and how to turn them from curiosity into clarity. Along the way, we'll keep adab, the noble manner, so your seeking stays anchored. Remember what the Sheikh of Akbar reminds us in the Meccan revelations: the heart is a mirror, and what it reflects depends on how it is polished. Tonight, we polished one of the clearest signs is a sudden aliveness within, restlessness that isn't noisy, longing that doesn't accuse, a quiet call to rise. You wake before dawn with words on your tongue. You feel drawn to silence without feeling lonely in it. Your ordinary routine starts to feel like clothing that no longer fits. The Quran calls you to recognize this moment. Oh, you who believe, Respond to Allah and to the Messenger when he calls you to that which gives you life. Quran 8:24. When that inner life stirs, treat it gently. Keep your wudu, guard your tongue, and give that yearning a daily home. Another sign is meaningful repetition. Numbers that recur, phrases you overhear in different places, a certain name of Allah appearing everywhere you look. Ibn Arabi would say a divine name is visiting you, seeking to be known through you. He famously writes, "There is no repetition in the self-disclosure la takara fight tajali," meaning the real never shows up in exactly the same way twice, even if the pattern looks similar. The repetition isn't in God, it's in our attention that still needs refining. Keep a log, note the times, places, feelings. Then, act on small inspirations that align with the name you sense mercy, justice, beautiso. The sign becomes a path. Dreams also speak the language of awakening. In the school of Ibn Arabi, dreams belong to the imaginal world, alamo mythal, the bridge where meanings dress in forms. Like Joseph, you may receive a scene that seems symbolic: a staircase, a garden, a locked door with a key that fits. Don't rush to decode. Instead, ask Allah for an interpretation and watch how waking life begins to echo the dream. The Sheikh advises humility. Dreams don't tell you who you are superior to. They show you the next step you're ready to take. Share significant dreams with a person of knowledge and balance, and let your actions polish the vision you were given. A softened heart is perhaps the sweetest sign. Tears come during Quran recitation. Your voice lowers when speaking of others. You sense the pain of people you once ignored. Ibn Arabi, paraphrasing from the Futuhat al-Makkiyah, says remembrance polishes the heart until it reflects the real without distortion. And the Quran assures, truly, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Quran 13:28. If your heart is soft, protect it from harshness, reduce idle scrolling, seek forgiveness quickly, and practice a daily litany of salawat upon the Prophet, peace be upon him. The heart that remembers becomes a lantern for the path. Shifts in companionship are another sign. Some friends drift away, not from anger, but as if a tide has turned. New companions appear who speak of meaning, service, and prayer as naturally as breathing. Rabia al-Adawiya used to pray to love God for God's sake alone. Her presence changed the seekers around her without argument, only fragrance. Choose company that increases your remembrance and steadies your steps. Ibn Arabi sees every person as a mirror of a divine name. Some awaken your gentleness, others your courage, others your patience. Honor the mirrors Allah places before you. Step away from those that fog your vision without turning your heart to stone. Sometimes the sign arrives as a storm. A plan collapses, a gate closes, or a disappointment exposes what you worshipped quietly. Control, image, comfort. Think of Yunus, swallowed by darkness, finding in that confinement the short prayer that opened vastness. Ibn Arabi writes about the names of majesty and beauty alternating in our lives, a mercy in severity and a severity in mercy. When hardship knocks, don't read it as rejection, read it as precise medicine. Breathe into patience, sabr, and ask, which attachment is being loosened? Which trust is being invited? Your willingness to learn in difficulty is itself a sign of awakening. Discernment keeps you safe. Not every coincidence is guidance. Not every astonishing light is from the real. The great Saint Abdul Qadir al-Jilani recounts seeing a light, declare, "I am your Lord," and he immediately rejected it when it permitted what the sacred law forbids. The light vanished, exposed as deception. Take his adab as your rule. Any sign that asks you to abandon prayer, neglect parents, or break trust is not a sign from Allah. Seek counsel, make istikhara, and proceed with humility. Remember, indeed, with hardship is ease. Indeed, with hardship is ease. Quran 94:5-6. Guidance never requires disobedience. Another cluster of signs appears as expansion. time opens. You get more done with less effort. A single page of Quran nourishes you like a feast. You feel moved to give, and the act of giving fills you rather than empties you. Ibn Arabi describes this as Sharal Sawdri, opening of the chest-win. A particular divine name predominates in your life, and everything begins to harmonize around it. Futahat al-Makkiyah. Follow the expansion with gratitude. Say Alhamdulillah aloud. Anchor it with 2 units of prayer, and share some of your increased money, time, attention with those who need it. Finally, attraction to knowledge is a luminous sign. Books find you. A line from the Fusius al-Hikam about Adam as the Barzakh, the isthmus between the real and creations, suddenly makes sense in your bones. Lessons arrive exactly when you need them. Ibn Arabi teaches that the heart has 2 eyes, reason and imagination, and perception is complete when they work together. Balance, study with presence. Let what you learn change how you pray, speak, and spend. If knowledge makes you gentler, it is light. If it makes you proud, it is smoke. Ask the knower to make you a mirror of wisdom, not a collector of words. So, if you keep seeing these signs in a restlessness, meaningful repetition, living dreams, a softened heart, reshaped friendships, instructive trials, expanding time, and a thirst for knowledge, consider this your invitation. Allah may be calling you to awaken, and the call carries both tenderness and task. Tell us in the comments, what is one sign that has been visiting you lately? Or simply write, I am answering the call. Your sharing could be the sign someone else needs today. You've begun to notice the signals and even name them. Now it's time to turn sight into stride. Ibn Arabi reminds us that a sign is a covenant. It arrives with trust and asks for a response. Awakening is not only what visits you, it is what you become in its presence. Think of your life as a doorway that keeps opening. Every time you step through, a wider room appears. This is why small, steady actions matter more than rare fireworks. Ask yourself, right now, what is the next honest step I can take? Not the glamorous one, the honest one. Honesty is the language of the heart, and the heart recognizes its own tongue. Begin with turning. Tawbah is not only leaving a sin, it is returning to your rightful orientation. Face the one who is already facing you. Before sleep, whisper a sincere apology for what you know and what you forgot you did. In the morning, begin with a sujood of gratitude, placing your forehead where your worries cannot follow. Intend one thing each day only Allah will see, an unseen kindness, a hidden charity, a prayer for someone who hurt you. The tradition tells us that when you walk toward the real runs toward you, so take a step, even a trembling one. Trembling counts. Anchor your day in remembrance. Keep the prayers on time as your spine, then thread the spine with breath and dhikr. Sit for 5 unhurried minutes, breathe gently, and repeat a name that beckons your heart. Al-Nur for clarity, Al-Latif for subtle kindness, Al-Haq for truth. Let the name descend from your lips into your chest until it becomes a pulse. So remember me, I will remember you, says the Quran 2:152. When you remember, your day reorganizes around presence. You may still have meetings and meals, but your interior posture changes. Less grasping, more receiving. Less noise, more listening. To deepen your listening, use both eyes of the heart. Ibn Arabi teaches that the heart perceives with intellect and imagination working together, reason to distinguish, imagination to recognize meaning. If reason is a lantern, imagination is the oil. If imagination is a sea, reason is the shoreline. Without both, we stumble. The Sheikh calls the cosmos an imaginal disclosural corn kyle, not fantasy, but a meaningful image sustained by the breath of the all-merciful Futahat al-Makkiyah. Practice by asking of each event, what is its outer fact, what is its inner invitation? Then answer both. You'll find your life becoming legible. Sometimes the inner invitation requires patience with what you cannot yet explain. Consider Moses walking with Khidr, a story Ibn Arabi reads as the soul apprenticing to hidden wisdom. The boat scuttled, the boy slain, the wall repaired. Each act seemed wrong until its context was unveiled. How can you be patient with what you do not encompass in knowledge? Moses is asked, Quran 18-68. Your unanswered questions are not failures, they are classrooms. When a sign puzzles you, set a time boundary. I will not force a meaning for 7 days, and serve quietly while you wait. Meanings ripen like fruit. You cannot tug a fig into sweetness. Guardrails protect the path. Junaid of Baghdad called Sufism sober intoxication, a wine that never breaks the cup. Ibn Arabi insists the cup is the sacred law prayer, honesty, trustworthiness, mercy without which every light risks becoming a mirage. If a sign invites you to skip prayer, humiliate someone, or cut corners in business, it's not a sign, it's a test. Seek companionship with people of remembrance, consult those who combine knowledge and humility, and make istikhara when choices overwhelm you. A luminous rule. True guidance increases your reverence, refines your character, and expands compassion. If it shrinks your mercy, leave it. As you respond, your being becomes a passageway for the names. Ibn Arabi's portrait of the perfect human, the Insan al-Kamil, is not elitist. It is an invitation. The perfect human is to the cosmos, as the spirit is to the body. He writes, the mirror, where divine beauty and majesty balance. Fuchsius al-Hikam, chapter of Adam. You taste this when your love translates into service, your understanding into forgiveness, your strength into protection of the weak. Begin close. Answer messages you've avoided. Reconcile small fractures in your family. Give without announcing. Let your hands do dhikr by how they help. Love is a verb, and verbs build souls. Your prayer can become a ladder. The Prophet's night journey is more than history. It is an archetype of ascent, woven into daily worship. Glory be to the one who took his servant by night. Quran 17-1. Each time you stand, bow, and prostrate with presence, you rehearse that ascent. Ibn Arabi calls the prayer a moving mirage, where space becomes transparent and the one you worship meets you where you are. Try this. Before takbir, name your intention aloud. I am praying to remember, to be softened, to be guided. After salam, sit for a breath or two. Don't rush away from the door you just opened. To embody awakening, practice a week of precise kindness. Day 1. Fast from complaint. If you slip, give a small charity and begin again. Day 2. Visit someone who can't repay you. Day 3. Write a letter of gratitude you've postponed. Day 4. Release one possession you cling to. Day 5. Pray to units in the last third of the night and make dua for someone who wronged you. Day 6. Forgive something possible to forgive, even if only in principle. Day 7. Spend an hour in silent walking, repeating a name with each step. Ibn Arabi would call this helloing the moments until time itself turns luminous. You may notice resistance, the inner critic, the fear of being naive, the fatigue of trying. Treat resistance as a visitor to host with dignity, but not obey. The Sufis say, the water takes the color of its vessel. Ibn Arabi echoes this, to remind us that reality appears to us according to our state. So change the vessel, clean it with repentance, widen it with gratitude, strengthen it with trust. Keep a small book of mercies this week, recording 3 ways you were cared for each day. Read it before sleep. Over time, your heart learns its own weather, and you become a sanctuary for others. You have seen the signs, learned the grammar, and begun to speak with your life. From here, we move into the deepest valley. How awakening unveils your unique, name your share, of the divine qualities and how to live that truth with courage, humility, and joy. Before we continue, if this journey is nourishing you, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next step and so this message reaches someone who's waiting for a sign. Your presence here supports the work. You have walked to the edge of the garden. Now the gate opens inward. The signs you noticed and the practices you embraced have prepared you for the most intimate unveiling. The discovery of your unique share in the divine names, the melody only your soul can sing. Ibn Arabi teaches that each of us is a locus of manifestation, a distinct mirror in which a particular radiance of the real seeks to be seen. Awakening is not a generic state. It is a vocation. It asks for courage to live truthfully, tenderness to serve quietly, and a love wide enough to include what you once avoided. If the earlier parts were about learning the alphabet of the heart, this part is about writing your life as a letter of love. Why were you called? Because you were made to know. The Quran declares, "I did not create jinn and humankind except that they worship me." Quran 51-56. And the Sufis herein worship the perfume of knowing Refabi, because you cannot truly worship what you do not taste. Ibn Arabi insists that real knowledge is not a concept stored in the head, but a light in the chest that changes how you walk, speak, and see. He writes in the Futuhat al-Makkiyah that the knower becomes colored by the name that visits him, so that his character turns into an address of the real. This is not spiritual theater. It is the quiet revolution of being. Consider Adam as Ibn Arabi presents him in the Fusus al-Hikam, the comprehensive word, the barzakh that gathers the horizon's earthly clay and heavenly breaths so the names can meet in balance. In Adam, and therefore in you, mercy and majesty, beauty and justice, wisdom and power are invited to harmonize rather than compete. Your awakening matures when you begin to recognize which names seek expression through your temperament and circumstances. If mercy is visiting, you will feel drawn to forgive with strength, not weakness. If justice visits, you will protect the vulnerable without hardening your heart. You become a musician of the names, tuning the strings until the chord is true. Living this harmony in the marketplace is the art. The path is not a monastery apart from life. It is presence within life. The Prophet defined ihsan as to worship Allah as if you see Him. And if you do not see Him, know that He sees you. Bring ihsan to emails and errands, to the way you listen before replying, to how you spend money others cannot see. Ibn Arabi's adab is precise. Do what is yours to do, at the right time, with the right intention, and leave the rest to the one who is nearer to you than your jugular. The unity of being is not an argument, it is a way of walking that refuses to exile the sacred from the ordinary. Let your heart be a lantern. The verse of light tells us, Allah is the light of the heavens and the earth, light upon light. Allah guides to His light whom He wills. Quran 24:35. Ibn Arabi would have you polish the glass your character, so the wick burns clean. Keep small, faithful practices, a daily litany of salawat, a portion of Quran recited with listening, a moment of silent gratitude after each prayer. Over time, the heart grows transparent. You begin to see with God's gentleness, to speak with God's patience, to refrain with God's dignity. The world remains the same, yet it glows with invitation. Love wants a body, so give it your hands. The Prophet, peace be upon him, was a walking Quran. His compassion fed the hungry, comforted the grieving, and dignified the unseen. Ibn Arabi writes that the real seeks to be known through human form. Your kindness is not merely moral, it is metaphysical hospitality to the name Al-Rahman. Choose a field of service aligned with your visiting name. Teach, mentor, heal, build, advocate, host. The Sufi masters say the most beloved people to God are those most beneficial to His servants. Let that be your compass when choices confuse you. Awakening that does not soften the world around you has not yet ripened. Trials will still visit, and that too is love's grammar. You will face doors that close, losses that ache, delays that test the secret of your trust. Remember, the curriculum is tailored. Allah does not burden a soul beyond its capacity. Quran 2:286. Ibn Arabi explains that the names alternate. Sometimes beauty expands you, Sometimes majesty contracts you. Both are medicine. In contraction, stay with patience. In expansion, stay with gratitude. Keep asking, what is the name here? If it is Al-Sabor, then endurance without bitterness. If it is Al-Shakur, then thanks that moves your feet to serve. Read your life as a liturgy. Tawakkul trust is the posture that lets you read clearly. Ibn Arabi offers a striking principle in the Futuhat. Your preparedness is your prophet Olistadad, Nobiyuka, meaning the form of guidance you receive matches the capacity you have cultivated. Expand your preparedness through worship, study, and honest livelihood, and guidance will arrive in forms you can carry. Bayezid Bistami said, "The mark of the one who trusts is stillness at the decree." This stillness is not passivity, it is lucid obedience. You act where you can, you accept where you must, and you keep the door of dua open like a lighthouse in fog. The imaginal world matures into vocation. Early on, dreams and coincidences are like sparks. Later, they become steady lamps directing your craft, your relationships, your legacy. Think of Abraham, whose visions were not escapist fantasies, but calls to courageous surrender. Think of Mary, who received a word and carried it into the world as nourishment. Ibn Arabi teaches that imagination is not the opposite of reality. It is reality's subtle organ. Use it to conceive works of mercy, reconciliation, and beauty. Sketch the school you wish existed, the clinic, the sanctuary, the poem. Then take one humble step toward it today. Meaning seeks form. At the deepest depth, love reveals its secret. You are not traveling toward God the way a ship sails to an island. You are being unveiled as a face in God's own mirror. The real is known only by the real. Ibn Arabi writes, none but God knows God, and yet God comes to know his names through the polished human heart. This is the unity of being as lived tenderness. In this view, you can forgive without forgetting justice. You can be fierce without losing kindness. You can be hidden while doing great good. You become a shelter for others, because you have learned to dwell under the shade of the One. So we arrive at the shore where your story continues, without this voice. If you keep seeing these signs, tender restlessness, meaningful repetition, luminous dreams, softened speech, noble companions, instructive storms, opened time, and thirst for not, keep prayer on time, keep your tongue truthful, keep your hands generous, keep your heart remembering. Read Ibn Arabi to widen your sky. Read the lives of the prophets to steady your steps. Walk with Sufi sages to learn adab. If this journey moved you, support the work. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs a sign, and write below one word that names your visiting name: mercy, justice, beauty, wisdom. May your days be fragrant with dhikr, your nights jeweled with trust, and your whole life become a clear answer to the call.